love history? Do you love the quaintness of a small town, but you really want to live in a medium-sized town? Do you see yourself living someplace with rolling hills, nearby horse farms, seasonal fruit and vegetable stands? Do you see yourself strawberry picking, apple picking, pumpkin picking, say that 3 times fast, with your family? Do you love town fairs with cotton candy and rides? Well, then you need to move to the Somerset Hills. I have lived here for over 55 years and I am passionate about helping buyers, sellers, and renters find the perfect home. I want you to raise your children in a school system that's one of the best in the state. So whether you're a buyer, a seller, a renter, you're upsizing, you're downsizing, it all comes down to this. There's no place like home. Let me help you find the perfect home. So check out my website, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text. Let me be your agent to help you find that perfect home. Each week on my YouTube channel, I want to discuss market updates, history of the Somerset Hills, events going on in all the towns in the area, and remodeling tips and tricks. So let's start at the beginning. Who am I? I grew up in Warren Township when there was only one traffic light in the center of town, which there's certainly more than one traffic light in Warren Township at this point. It was settled by the Lenape Indians, and then in the 1700s, European farmers came into the area. There were a lot of dairy farms, including Wagner's Dairy Farm, which sold fresh milk, local ice cream, and the best chocolate milk on the planet. It was so thick, you had to drink it with a straw. There was also a town center that had a grocery store. It had a small hardware store. It had a 5 and 10 called Bantam's 5 and 10, which had every single thing you could possibly think of. You'd maybe need something and go shopping someplace else and go into the 5 and 10 later and say, you don't by any chance have this whatever. And they'd say, well, let me go check in the back. And then they'd go check in the back and voila, they had it. There was also a shoe store called the Country Cobbler where everybody went for their back-to-school shoes. We had a Stewart's root beer in town, and it had draft root beer in a frosted mug. You'd get hot dog and french fries in one of those baskets with the red gingham paper. We had a German restaurant called the Schwäbische Alb, which at the end of the summer they would have before October, they would have a German festival. Of course, it had authentic German food. They'd bring a band over from Germany. Everyone would dance the chicken dance, and the kids would be a part of the ice cream parade. We also had on the outskirts of town something called an Eggomat. And you're saying to yourself, what the heck is an Eggomat? It was an automatic egg dispenser and unique for the town and actually for the state. And we also had a picnic ground, which was called Forest Lodge, and it had 50 acres. It's still in operation today. It's a picnic and catering place. It also has a banquet hall, so they do a lot of weddings there. Probably every kid in Warren Township worked there at some point, so there's nothing like raking and scooping 50 acres. Warren Township has a rich history that dates back to the American Revolution. There's still quite a few authentic and historic buildings, one being the Baptist Meeting House. There's also the Ford Kirsch House, which was also an important part of the Civil War for the Underground Railroad. There was also a restaurant that was a stagecoach stop called the King George Inn, which was recently demised. It was a great restaurant. It was actually where I met my husband. He was the head chef and I was a waitress. At the end of the school year, they would have the Lions Club, which they still do, host the Expo Fair, which is 4 nights, and of course that's where you have rides and cotton candy. Memorial Day, as in many of the towns in this area, we all have Memorial Day parades. In Warren Township, they'd go from the post office to the municipal building, and the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Little League teams, and the high school band would play at the ceremony. We also have, and they still have, Edgewood Pharmacy, which was a great local pharmacy. It's now owned and operated by the original owner, son Steve. Great gift shop, outstanding customer service. He still does deliveries, and it's a great place there too. There was also on King George Road, where I grew up, there was a castle. My parents would say, oh, that's where the king and queen live. And I remember always wanting to see what the king and queen looked like. And there was one Sunday after we were coming home from church, my dad slowed the car down and said, there she is. So I'm looking, and all I see is this woman walking to the end of the driveway to get the Sunday paper. And she had curlers in her hair, a pink housecoat, and fuzzy white slippers. And I thought, that's not the queen. It's just an ordinary person. And that's who it was, but she lived in a castle. Anyways, Warren Township is ranked one of the safest towns to live in the state of New Jersey. It was also ranked in 2014 one of the best towns to live in the United States. Great place to grow up. It's still a great town to live in. Like I said, I met my husband at the King George Inn, and I did get married, obviously, and we then decided to move to Basking Ridge, where he grew up. So we had an outstanding realtor. She lived in Berners Township and had lived here for a while. She was very involved in the town, knew a lot of people, and knew exactly where a young couple with an infant should live. I told her that we wanted to live in a Center Hall Colonial, and she said, I'm going to find you the best place to live. And we bought a small 3-bedroom Cape Cod. After 35 years of living here, we've renovated it, and I thank her every day for putting me in this great neighborhood, in this great town. Thank you, Dana. So a little bit about my past. I started out as a music teacher in Warren Township, and then my husband and I purchased a video store called National Video, which was in the Lions Mall, and Dunkin' Donuts is there now. And you're probably saying, National Video? Yes, we rented videos. Some of you are probably saying, what the heck is a video? So after 20 years of doing that, I then went to work for a local remodeler, BBJ Remodelers in Martinsville. I learned how to do kitchen and bathroom design. After Bonnie retired, I opened my own remodeling company, Axed Home Solution, and I do residential remodeling, bathrooms, kitchens, basements, and more. And I thought perhaps there was a way to use my remodeling knowledge with helping people purchase a new home. So luckily, I am a proud Berkshire Hathaway, New Jersey Properties agent, and I work out of the Basking Ridge office, and I am committed to helping people find the perfect home again. And you're saying, so what do I do in my spare time? Glad you asked. I am in the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Basking Ridge chapter. I have served as the chairperson for the Environmental Commission. I have served on the planning board in Berners Township. I am a member of the Basking Ridge Business Alliance. I am also the president and the founder of the Oak Tree Networking Group, which is also a local networking group of local businesses. And I am a trustee in the Historical Society of the Somerset Hills and the Mr. Local History Project. I am also a proud member and teacher in the Guard Pipes and Drums. I do play the bagpipes, and I teach bagpipes. Our band has marched in the New York City Day Parade, St. Patrick's Day Parade. I've also marched in Boston, and we actually went to Ireland and marched for the 100th anniversary of the Easter Uprising. So check out the Guard Pipes and Drums on Facebook. So the bottom line is, I am from here, I live here, I'm involved here, I am the forever agent, your forever agent, and I will help you find the perfect house, because remember, there's no place like home.